since I was really young, not even really young, but since I can remember, my dream was to have a coffee shop. I don't know why, but it was a dream, but it never was really something that I pursued to have. It was just something that I wanted to do.
Welcome to Cafetero Podcast about nothing that includes everything.
And welcome back to another episode of Cafetero Podcast, a podcast about nothing that includes everything. And this time, it's my turn to be the interviewer, and I have a really special guest today here with me, which is Juan Jose Rivero, or better known as John. Hey, John. How you doing today?
Hey, Ederlin.
How are you? I'm taking your position now.
And I think those are big shoes to fill, all right? I have to say.
I'll try my best. How you doing today?
You know, I'm a little nervous because I have no idea what you're going to ask.
No, don't worry. I'll go easy on you. I'll go easy on you. So talk to me, John. We're going to be talking about coffee shop. We're going to be talking about the process of owning a coffee shop, because you've been in this business for quite a long time now. I would say a couple of years. And
A couple? It's not that bad. Almost 2 decades.
It's actually a long time, man. I didn't realize until you said that. But let's go. The first question is, why do you have two names? Why some people call you Juan Jose and other people call you John?
Well, because my name is John Juan. That's the name that I'm gonna start going for, because I'm gonna tell you the story exactly why I became John and why my real name is Juan.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one wondering that.
So when I first came to this country, a good friend of mine took me to the Social Security office to get my Social Security card. And then while we were filling out the application, because I didn't speak English, he goes like, "Look, you can't change your name." And I'm like, "But you can't do that. In my country, that's illegal." Yeah. "No, you can do it here." So he wrote John Rivero in the application. And that's why I became John. And when I got my license, it was John, and then I became John. But now I'm at a point in my life where when I became a citizen about 10 years ago, I decided that I wanted to be Juan again. And but now some people call me Juan, some people call me John. So I think John Juan is a good name.
I've had some crazy stories that people walk in asking for Juan. Even myself, that I've known you for a couple of years now, I'm like, Juan.
A couple of years. I know you and Ederlin for about maybe 7 years.
Couple of years, yeah.
That's
the to say 7 years exactly. Almost a decade knowing John then. Right. And people walk in asking for, where's Juan or JJ? I'm like, who's JJ? So he said, John. I'm like, you can just say John. Is this even to realize it's you?
I saw him all my emails with JJ. I reply text messages that I end up with JJ. Anyway, hey, if you want to address me at John Juan, that's my new name. Hashtag John Juan. At John Juan. I don't have an Instagram account for that yet, but I will.
You have an Instagram account at John Juan. Well, John, how did you come up with the idea of owning a coffee shop? Not Cafetero, because this wasn't your first coffee shop, but the one we know, our cafe. How did you come up with the idea of having a coffee shop?
Ederlin, you know what? Since I was really young, not even really young, but since I can remember, my dream was to have a coffee shop. I don't know why, but it was a dream, but it never was really something that I pursued to have. It was just something that I wanted to do. I always said, someday I'll own a coffee shop. And I didn't even drink coffee.
Oh, yeah?
Until I was 25. So when Starbucks really became popular and a lot of coffee shops started opening and the culture started developing, I started drinking mocha lattes. That was my introduction to coffee and a lot of sugar. And later on I started, because it became really expensive, because back in the day, mochaccino was like $4.50. Mm-hmm. And it was expensive, man. For somebody in my 20s, it was a lot of money. And to make the story short, I ended up getting married, moving to New Rochelle. A few years later, obviously. 25? I got married when I was 33. Anyway, so I moved to New Rochelle, New York, and Westchester, and there were coffee shops around here, but they were not good quality coffee shops.
Okay.
And I was used to really high-end coffee in the city, because I graduated Starbucks and I started drinking better coffee and small coffee houses. And there was no coffee shop in New Rochelle, and I had been laid off from my job, and I said, you know what, I'm going to open a coffee shop. I went on YouTube. I learned everything that I thought needed to be learned from coffee. I went to coffee shops. I tried to work at a coffee shop for free. No one wanted to give me a job as a barista because I had no experience. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to go on YouTube. I learned everything that I could. I rented a space. I put together my friends, and everybody helped me to paint, to make a counter, to do everything. And that's how I started. And then I opened.
That was back in 2011, right?
Oh my God, that was in 2011. It was tough because I opened, and the mayor in New Rochelle came, Noam Branson, and that was to me that was a big boost because he was the mayor, and I was like, wow, the mayor came to open my coffee shop. Nice. Yeah, and that's how I started. That's how I started,
and then everything started to go well. And look now.
Look now where I am. I am right now in New Rochelle with my second coffee shop, my really beautiful Cafetero.
And talk to me about Cafetero. How do you came up with the idea of opening up a new coffee shop and the name of Cafetero? Why Cafetero?
Well, the name became after. It wasn't. The idea came before, and the idea came during the pandemic. So I was in Colombia, and I got trapped during the pandemic for 3 months there, and I had a lot to think because in Colombia they didn't allow you to go out during the pandemic.
Yeah, it was
you had to be indoor more than like 99% of the time. And I did, and then I was buying coffee, and I was tasting coffee, and I was like, you know what? Colombia has such a great coffee culture and coffee quality. Why don't I open one in New York with a coffee shop in New York, a coffee shop with only Colombian coffee, and that's how everything started. Then I got together with a couple of friends, and the name Cafetero came about. I came up with the name first. We all had, I had two other partners, and we all were trying to figure out what name to give the coffee shop. And Cafetero, I came up with the idea. I thought it was catchy, simple, and easy to remember.
Easy to remember. Absolutely. I'm with you on that, because Cafetero is something like, for especially us Spanish people, cafe. And then Cafetero is someone that actually loves coffee and drinks a lot of coffee. So I'm a cafetero because I actually like coffee a lot.
Yeah, and I love the way it sounds, Cafetero.
Cafetero, yeah.
Hey, let's go to Cafetero.
Yeah, so keeping up with the business and stuff, what would you say is the hardest part of owning a coffee shop?
I think the hardest part of owning a coffee shop, this is interesting because Cafetero is such a smooth operation that I don't consider it work.
Yeah.
But trying to all creating the environment is very important to me. So I'm constantly here, and you know that I'm always here to changing things because I want every time people walk in to have a different experience, to find different artwork, to find the plants. 1 week they were here, the plants that are now here.
Now here it's different ones, yeah.
Because I don't want people to Cafetero to become like a boring routine.
Yeah.
But rather like an interesting place to walk in. Well, you walk in and you always find something different.
Something new, yeah.
Something different. The only thing I don't change is my people, because I think I have great people working. And to me, I don't see them as workers. I see them as a part of my team, and they all complement each other.
Yeah, and that's definitely. And I'm interviewing today, but I'm actually one of the baristas here, one of the head baristas. So he's making me change my job today. I'm interviewing him. But okay, so tell me about a crazy story since you own a coffee shop.
A crazy story. Yeah, I had a funny story once. These women came to my coffee shop, and they came last, and there was a line, and they sat on the main table, and because they felt that they weren't taken care of fast enough, they did this to me. They
clap your fingers at you?
They got my fingers at me. Yeah, I get out of my bar, and I told them, you have to get out. You have to leave. You have to leave now.
That's a disrespect.
And but that to me, I think is the crazy story that I had.
Definitely, yeah.
But you know what? Overall, I think it's been a positive experience overall. And yeah, we had the difficulties with some clients, but it's happening in every line of job that you have or but I when you said that was the first thing that came to my mind. But I assure you there's many funny ones too.
Yeah, I can tell since I'm working as a barista. I mean, I have 1 year with you guys now. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 year. Yeah.
I've had some crazy.
Yeah, but they've been open for years.
Yeah. I've been here since the beginning. I've had some crazy stories too, but.
But tell me one of yours.
One of mine?
Yeah, tell me one.
Dude, let me see. Oh, this lady. This lady comes in one day, really rude. Really, really rude. I was by myself in the afternoon because there was an afternoon shift like I usually do. She walks in and I was taking care of another customer. Since I'm making the coffee, I'm like, I'll be right with you. Give me 1 minute. Let me just finish with this order. I said, as we usually do. She said, no, I need my order now. I'm like, yeah, but just give me 1 second. I need to finish. They came first. Dude, she started screaming at me. But like, oh, why are you making me wait? I'm like, because we take the orders from like their arriving time.
First
Like,
come, first serve.
yeah, exactly. And when she waited the whole time, and when I go up to her to take your order, she's like, I don't want the order, and I'm just waiting here to let you know that you guys have a horrible service. And she just walked out. I didn't understand, because like, if you don't want the service, just, you're free to go. Like, but I couldn't just stop making the order that I was making just to go up to her and help her, because that's a disrespect. For me, looking at from the customer point, that's
Well, things like that happen all the time. But, no, it doesn't happen all the time. But every now and then we get someone who was having a bad day, really.
Overall, we have really, really nice customers. I think that's the only...
Yeah, we have amazing customers that we should be,
really proud of, yeah.
Because I think I had great experiences with many, many, many of our customers.
So,
come here and thank you and, give you accolades.
Yeah, so talk to me about coffee. What do you like about coffee?
Coffee, you know what, this is doing tea, and everybody asks me, oh, you like lattes? And I know I am lactose intolerant, so I don't drink milk, and I don't like alternative milk. I really don't enjoy it.
I heard you love oat milk and almond milk. So
no, I am allergic to oat too.
Oh, you're allergic to it?
and that's the most delicious milk out of the alternatives.
Yeah.
So I just drink black coffee, and to me it's just delicious.
I'm more like a latte person. I like iced coffees, like black straight up, or sometimes I get my pour over as well. But I'm more like a latte kind of guy, like, especially now with this weather. And so
iced lattes in this coffee shop are #1 sellers.
Yeah,
so
I
I understand why, because they're fucking amazing.
I can prove that. They are, definitely. Well, John, I'll give you a minute. You can do and say whatever you want. This is all yours. Go ahead.
No, I'm thank you for interviewing me and asking me to be part of the podcast. I'm part of the podcast, but the fact that you say, hey, I want to interview you, thank you.
And here we are.
It's been a pleasure to partake in this new venture that we are doing now together as my co-host and host.
Everything.
And see where this takes us. I enjoy working with you, working with everybody that I have worked with.
Likewise.
Coffee shop so far, and see where it takes us. Maybe maybe you'll be in Fox hosting a show.
You never know.
Hey, you never know.
Life can change. One second order.
But what cannot change is the quality of coffee at Cafetero.
Yeah.
That cannot change. That never change, because Cafetero is a podcast about
nothing that includes everything.
That includes everything and coffee.
And coffee, exactly. Well, thank you very much, guys, for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, leave the comments down there. We're going to be answering all your questions about coffee and share our content. Thank you very much.